Yeah, people are afraid to step on the matrix and just step out and just do your own thing. And like you said, too, you look back, even some of my mistakes, you think it's a mistake, but it kind of led you to where you are now. It's never a bad mistake. It just kind of made you who you were. And you have to go through those mistakes to know what you don't want or what you want.
Hi, guys, and welcome to the House Call Vet Cafe podcast. I'm Dr. Eve Harrison. I'm a full-time integrative concierge house call veterinarian in Los Angeles, and I help other vets to build their unique mobile practices on their terms. This podcast is for and by house call and mobile veterinarians, so it is meant to give our community a platform to connect, to share our stories, to lift each other up, and to support each other. Most of us work solo as lone wolves, right? So for me, it's been really powerful to be able to physically hear the voices of my colleagues from all over the world and to get a chance to feel that we truly are part of a community of very real other human beings who get it. While you may be alone in that little bubble of your own vehicle when you're on the road seeing patients, I welcome you to join our community by tuning into our own podcast when you're on your way to your next house call. Whether you're a super experienced house call vet with 30 years of experience, you're a brand new prospective house call vet just looking to get started, or you're house call curious, there will be something for you in this podcast. Each episode, you will hear interviews from other mobile veterinarians just like yourself who are doing unique and innovative things, vets who are sharing their stories, their struggles and challenges, and you can also look forward to hearing valuable information and perspectives from specialists and experts outside of our micro niche. And finally, if becoming a house call veterinarian is something that you've been thinking about exploring, or you're looking for some extra support getting your own mobile practice to feel more profitable and sustainable for you, check out the information in the show notes about my course and our above and beyond supportive private community for members only, plus our monthly group coaching sessions within the House Call Vet Academy. You can also check out my free public Facebook group, which is also called the House Call Vet Cafe, the same name as this podcast, and which is a warm and cozy community for mobile vets to support each other in professional and personal development, in creative entrepreneurship, and in friendship. So thank you guys for spending time with me today. Let's dive into the episode. Okay, everyone, we have an awesome guest today. I'm super excited to introduce you guys to Dr. Rosemarie Niznik. She attended the University of Georgia College of Veterinary Medicine and then went on to work as an associate and relief small animal veterinarian in numerous veterinary day practices and emergency hospitals. Sounds familiar. Anyway, she was always interested in alternative and complementary treatments and medications, and she would research and recommend supplements for her patients. And after personally receiving acupuncture and chiropractic treatments for a back injury of her own, Dr. Niznik decided to change the main focus of her career to holistic and integrative veterinary medicine. So Dr. Niznik founded Harmony Rose Animal Wellness, which I've always admired that name. I've seen the name of your practice all over the place, like on social media. I'm like, what a beautiful, perfect name. And she opened Harmony Rose Animal Wellness, a holistic house call practice, and she travels throughout Wisconsin and Illinois to treat veterinary patients in the comfort of home. She's an advocate for organized veterinary medicine. She served as the president of the Chicago Veterinary Medical Association, the American Holistic Veterinary Medical Association, and she now serves as the AHVMA alternate delegate on the AVMA House of Delegates. She continues her studies at the Chi University in the master's program in TCVM, which is amazing. She shares her home with her husband, Chip, and her Bernese Mountain Dog, Arabella, and her rescued cat, Willa. In the winter months, she teaches skiing at a local ski resort. How cool is that? In the summer months, Dr. Niznik stays busy working, traveling to interesting and fun places, and attending integrative veterinary conferences. Welcome, Dr. Rosemarie. I'm so excited to have you. We've been in each other's world sort of peripherally for a while. You had just given a beautiful lecture at the House Call and Mobile Vet Virtual Conference last month, and I'm just so excited to have you here. And I wanted to start out with, what's your favorite snack to eat in the car? Well, thanks, Eve, for having me here. I'm happy to be here. And my favorite snack in the car, I guess I was going to the house call practice. I'll take coffee and I'll make, the Young Living has those Ningxia Red little packets with seltzer. So that's my healthy drink of my vitamins. But I'll take along a granola bar, some Hershey Kisses, some little candies just to snack on things. And then afterwards, when I can relax, then I go to Trader Joe's, and that's my home way office. And I like their cheese curls. It's a huge bag of cheese curls, and you
have to take them in your car and you can't open them up. So you have to take your key and like slice them open. Watch till I'll be driving home for an hour. I'm like, how much of that bag did I eat? And I also like, I also have a favorite too is a black licorice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I have so many things to say to that.
Yeah.
So at first I was like, oh, you are a real sweet tooth person like me. Like, always chocolate in your car. But then I was like, oh, you've got a savory part, the cheese curls.
Yeah, the salt chocolate. So then, then if you get the caramel chocolate, like salted caramel chocolate, that just does all the food groups.
Perfect. And then also it's like hilarious. Like just yesterday I was on house calls and I had to pee really bad. So I pulled over so I could go in a Trader Joe's to pee. They have a good bathroom. They're a good bathroom, right? And like I actually asked my client, I was like, I'm running a little bit behind. Do you need anything? And she was like, yeah, can you actually pick up some marshmallows and paper towels? I'm like, yeah, sure.
I always try to go to the restaurant in secret. I never thought to ask a person what they wanted.
So funny. So can you tell me a little bit about how you became a house call vet and what your journey was like? We heard a little bit about that in your bio, but I would love to hear a little bit more about Harmony Rose. It's such a beautiful name for a practice. I love it.
Yeah, I kind of had analysis paralysis on the name. So, but I guess if you want to have a perfect name, it takes some time. I worked a lot of practices. I moved a lot in my life. And so I kept changing different practices. At first, it was very stressful to find a practice you like, but then get burned out in it and then have to find another one. I was very nervous trying to move, but that helped me because then I was able to adapt later on when I could do relief work. And then I moved to Chicago area, took some time off and, went through a divorce. And then I was kind of coming back into veterinary medicine and I was doing relief work. And then I was like, you're doing relief work and the economy wasn't so well. And I was waiting for people to call me. And I told my sister, no, people call, their phone will be ringing off the wall. And then it didn't ring off the wall. And then I was kind of like just getting stressed, like I don't have anything of my own. And I thought about doing an ultrasound course. And I was trying to like think, what can I do? What can I do? And then, I did have an injury because I did show up and teach skiing because I showed up at a local ski hole and said, I can't find a job as a vet. It's like, I want to just teach skiing because I was an avid skier. And what's hilarious is one of the main people in the ski school came up and said, oh, my wife's a vet too. And she can't find a job either. And actually she got certified in skiing, but she doesn't teach anymore. So that's hilarious to connect with someone that, no veterinarians could find any jobs right now. And then I got injured. It's like my brain kind of connects different things. I make odd connections. So I had gotten hurt when I was skiing. I went to see, the conventional practitioner who just said, here's your pain meds, go to rehab. And I was like, what is this? And I said, can I do something else? Can I get an MRI? Can I get a diagnosis? What's going on? And so I decided to go see a chiropractor because they said, oh, that might help. And I went to see the chiropractor. They kind of helped me through the disease and getting hurt because I didn't know if I was going to be able to walk. I didn't know if I was going to be able to ski. I didn't know if I needed surgery. My back was hurting. And there's also an emotional component of disease that, it's in Chinese medicine. So for some reason, my brain connected, like, you want to do something else. And ultrasound, you're being in ERs all the time. You'd be up all night. That could be intense as you're getting older. So I just said, I'll do a house call practice and I'll just go take an acupuncture class. And so I worked an overnight shift at the ER to help pay for it and showed up my chi class. I almost slept through my first class. My roommates had to wake me up because they had my alarm on for PM, not AM. And they're like, can you come to class? I'm like, oh, I almost missed my first class. And I just showed up and said, if I like it, I'll stay. If I don't like it, I won't come back. And then the rest is history.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that could be my own thing, like just my own thing. I'm not waiting for someone to call me. I could run my practice, take control of my life, take control of my career, and just do something different.
I love that about acupuncture and traditional Chinese medicine. It basically, it's the key to the kingdom in terms of autonomy. You can practice this type of medicine without a clinic, without a boss, without all this equipment. It's like just such a beautiful portal into another life. Did you find that to be the case?
Yeah, so I was thinking, when I was answering your questions, I was like, why did I just do a house call practice, like conventional? But it was that you needed this van, you had to do surgeries, you had to get vaccines, and I just couldn't fathom that. But I thought, well, acupuncture, low overhead, get some needles, get an electrical unit, and then just show up. I made, B12. And then you can order the herbs later. Like, you didn't need that much. Yeah, there's no overhead, just you. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
exactly right. And the thing is, like, even if you're doing general practice, you don't need the whole big van and everything, but it's very common to fear that how am I going to be able to do all of this without all of that equipment? We're used to that. That's
Yeah.
what you usually have in the clinic. So it feels almost like impossible to offer anything else without all of this like crazy equipment and high overhead and like, $250,000 vehicle. And it's like, we don't need that, but at the same time, I think that even lower of overhead is exactly what you said. You get your acupuncture needles, they're cheap as hell. Like, it's your time, it's your brain, it's your wisdom, and, like, that's what you can really charge for without having a whole lot of expenses in order to be able to provide that really beautiful care for your patients. So I really love how you described that as being it's almost a low-hanging fruit that's like, when you invest in yourself in terms of that type of education and that whole paradigm shift, the whole world opens up because after the initial investment of paying for education, right? And you're still in it with your master's, which I'm impressed by. But like after that, the cost of continuing to provide that care, the barrier to entry is very, very low.
And you could buy laser if you want. You could, but everything else nowadays can be done by mail order or online things, or, we have to bring a whole bunch of things with you. I made the mistake, and now I don't. The heaviest thing is carrying just my doctor bag with all the stuff in it.
Great.
Yeah.
That's right. What kind of doctor bag do you have? Now I'm just curious to ask.
But actually, it's funny. It's Hopkins. It's my client, so that's his name. It's a long brown. It says Hopkins on it, and it's a nurse bag. Because at first I carried a little tiny doctor bag and maybe a backpack, and then someone mentioned that somewhere I got this bag. It's kind of nice. There's a couple different pockets, although the shoulder strap kind of got frayed, so I have to carry it, and that's real heavy. I need another shoulder strap.
That
And then,
tends to happen.
and I got a little tiny red bag that I put my laser in. It's just a handheld laser, and it's like one of those tote bags from Veterinary Apparel catalog, and put my name on it. So I carry that laser separately.
Love it.
Yeah. Before I said like take like a backpack and this tiny doctor bag and then a bag of supplements and a bag of other stuff, and I come in people's house like 4 or 5 bags, and it spread things all over their house. And they take you like an hour to get everything consolidated. Now I'm very like concise and I keep things just
Nice.
on me. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. I'm kind of like that, actually. I'm inclined to like sprawl out all my stuff. Like I use my husband's old camera bag that has all these little compartments for different lenses and this and that. And I found that really helpful for me to like separate different aspects because I'm doing, integrative acupuncture laser and then a little bit of the general stuff as well. So I have like my little otoscope and, a few slides and some Q-tips and some Claro and, just like a few little things. And it all fits in this. It's like this big. It gets a little heavy, but yeah, like old camera bag just really helps. And then I'm all over the place. Like I have a radius of like several feet around me of all my stuff that I've unpacked. And
I have to have a tray to keep them confined in a tray.
yeah, I might need your guidance as far as being more concise. Like I could see your wisdom there helping me. But on the subject of kind of pivoting and shifting the direction, we had talked a little bit. I know that you are on the cusp of concierge practice, and that's sort of appealing to you. Is that right? That's the direction you're looking at.
It's appealing because when we talk, it seems like I'm almost doing that. Like you're offering your services to clients and tell them, or I'm a different kind of doctor. You could call me for help, or if something's wrong with your pet, you don't understand what your conventional vet told you. Just any questions, you could call me. I'm available to you. Don't be afraid not to call me or send me an email or text me, and then I could read your blood work, help talk you through things. So it seems like I was already kind of doing that, but not really marketing myself as that. Just telling people after they saw me, I was saying, "Oh, this is what I do." But I wasn't really putting that out there first. So that's kind of exciting because my practice is 10 years old, and things kind of fall by the wayside. I try to do everything, sell supplements and maybe do some vaccines, and you try to add a whole bunch of things in, and you have all these supplements or products, and you're like, okay, don't do that. And then you kind of take it all on, and you say, no, I'm not doing anything. And then I think you just get a little stagnant, and you just need some help. And how can I revive this or change it or just add something to it? And then maybe, and then if you market it that way, it's a concierge practice and it's high touch practice, and then not that many clients, because I have gotten a lot of clients when you just feel like there's just too many. So it's nice to be able to work with a smaller group of clients and get to know them, very closely, in depthly, which I enjoy that. I remember a lot of my house call clients are really good friends. That appeals to me. And then I don't know anything about it. So when I did my house call practice, I kind of winged it. It made some mistakes or kind of did things, the odd way that people do them. So I'm looking for your wisdom and guidance and helping me in this next process or next stage of my life and next stage of my practice.
I'm so excited about this. For those of you listening, Dr. Rosemarie is in our next group of the Concierge Vet Mastermind. So we're going to take some next steps. And it's very, very common what we just heard, that you may actually be providing concierge level of service, but not monetizing it or not having the structure to be able to present and market it as what it is, and therefore charge the kinds of prices that reflect the work that you're actually doing and the amount of effort that you're providing, the availability and things like that. So I'm really, really excited to work with you. And I think it's amazing because you essentially are doing concierge level care. Now we just need to put the cherry on top so that you can market it that way and make a good living doing so, right? So it's very, very exciting. Yeah. So my next question is, I know that you're really passionate about a holistic integrative care. You gave a beautiful lecture during our conference. Can you tell us a little bit about what you spoke about? Like, give us a little taste of the tea. Give us a little bit of the spill of tea. What was your lecture called? Remind us. Okay.
Thing was always, well, it was a funny thing was like to have a cup of tea with a client and then, get paid your house call fee. But then, the scientific thing was using herbal teas and holistic teas and house call practice. And that was a great thing to talk about because when you're in a conventional practice, you tell people you go home and use tea and make this tea and give it to your dog or put it on their skin or do something with this tea. And, people look at you and they're like, yeah, okay. But in the house call practice, you can actually bring the tea with you and show them how to make it and then show them how to use the green tea to wipe their dog's paws off or put on their itchy skin. And so you can actually show the clients how you're using the tea. And tea is readily accessible. They can get very holistic tea if they want to and tea leaves and the organic tea, or they could just go down to, Trader Joe's and just get some Trader Joe's organic tea or healthy tea and make some tea. Just accessible. And it's something that everybody has, everybody drinks. So why not use it to your benefit, your pet?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And it's just kind of fun. And I learned a lot how to make tea. I have my tea kettle up there. So I wanted one of those. So I make some tea, and it's funny how you start with tea bags, and you go to loose tea, and then you go to organic tea, and then the healthy tea, and it's just fun to play with tea.
It really is. So many flavors and so many medicinal functional benefits that you can get from tea. I've have all these mushroom teas. I have, oh my gosh, my favorite one. I wouldn't use this medicinally for animals because I'm not sure about that. But there's an Amanita muscaria that's like the red mushroom with the white polka dots, like the Alice in Wonderland one. There's a tea that I have that's made of that and some other dried fruits, and it's absolutely delicious, very, very calming. But I'm curious, what's your favorite tea to either drink for yourself and or to use for animals? What's your favorite? What are your two favorites in each of those categories?
I like Earl Grey, and if you can find it, Lady Grey. So I can make my own Earl Grey by making Earl Grey and then putting lemon in it or an essential oil lemon drops. And then it's a neat thing to do. And then I put the brown sugar, the Turbano brown sugar. Because I have to have the sugar. Honey's kind of a little funny. So I choose honey would be healthier. So I like Earl Grey. That's my go-to tea. And it's hard to find decaf. I usually have caffeinated one. And then as you tell people green tea for their pets, that's easy. People have green tea. They can make it at home. They have it. And they could use it on their pet's paws for allergies, wipe the face off, wipe the paws off, rinse them with green tea. And then you can put it in their food too, even for anti-cancer benefits. But you just have to watch the caffeine or just get, uncaffeinated tea.
Fantastic. For a while, I was on a kick of have you heard of golden seal tea? Compresses golden seal?
No.
I can't remember where I read about it, but I think it's good for compressing eye issues.
We have chrysanthemum or something.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so you can make a tea bag or get the tea bag or make the tea and put a cloth in it for the eyes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Then you have your dog drink it too, because then it can help the eyes that way. You get clear heat.
Wow. Yeah. The chrysanthemum tea, they can drink it. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Chrysanthemum tea is absolutely delicious. And the reason I know this is because when I was in high school, one of my best friends at the time, she's Taiwanese, she had these little boxes of boxed chrysanthemum tea. It was sweet tea, and she would always give me some of hers, and I would just drink that thing in less than a minute. I'd be This is so good. So when I think about chrysanthemum tea, I always think about her and those little boxes, like the pre-pack where you like poke the straw through the little aluminum
there's
hole.
those boxes.
So good.
Like little kid boxes.
It was like little juice boxes. Like, what it was. It's like chrysanthemum tea with, Chinese writing on it and everything. Like there wasn't a word of English on there. I just knew it was chrysanthemum tea because she told me.
For dinner, I think it helps like clear their digestive system.
That's amazing. Do you have any other, I've had people do like a black tea compress for like hot spots and things like that.
I've done it. Yeah.
Or can you use green tea again for that same
Green
thing?
tea, I think so. No, it's just a little, it's not as strong. And then the green tea has all the antioxidants in it. And then, so black tea, I guess there's a lot of tannins. I guess it could be tannins, could be more drying in Chinese medicine, help dry it out if you did have a hot spot. Yeah.
Mhm.
But to have them drink it, the dog might not like the black tea. It might be too strong.
Yeah. I've never had an animal drink tea before other than like, anything that's caffeinated, I would be scared, I guess. But I think you're right. Like as long as you get decaffeinated or very, very weak.
Weak, or just give them try a little bit, just a small dose. And they just put it in their feed. So you just mix it with their feed. You make it on bone broth or mix it in a water bowl, or if you have kibble, put some green tea. Don't use water, do some green tea with the kibble.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love
Dogs can drink anything.
I've used green tea and supplements before for them.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, they have mushroom tea. If you want to do the turkey tail mushroom supplement, then you can give your dog a pill. It might be easier just to make the tea, and then just mix it in with their food. Yeah,
Beautiful.
or you can make a bone broth. Just throw all the tea leaves in the bone broth. Make the tea.
Oh, I love that. Oh my God, so delightful.
Hey there, it's Eve Harrison. There's a question that I get from veterinarians all the time. How do you do concierge practice in your house call vet practice? Another question I get is, what is concierge practice? So the term concierge definitely gets thrown around in a lot of ways that are different from what I mean. But for me, I'm a house call vet, but as a mini micro niche within house call vet practice, I specifically have a concierge practice. So among other features, concierge practice functions as a membership container, but that's not the only thing that makes concierge concierge. What concierge practice really means for me is that I run a thriving, fully self-sustaining house call practice where I see way fewer patients. I earn income that is way more aligned with my actual effort, my skills, and the super thoughtful heart and soul that I put into my work. And the best part for me is that my client base is perfectly curated. I legitimately love every one of my clients and patients. And as a result of me not being burnt out or resentful and feeling secure in my income and the energetic exchanges occurring between us, everyone involved receives the thoughtful, comprehensive care that they deserve, including me. And I actually have time and energy left to be my whole self rather than being defined by my career only. My Concierge Vet Mastermind program gives you everything you need to build a sustainable practice that honors both your calling as a vet and your ability to live a balanced, fulfilled life. In just 6 months, I will personally guide you through my Compassionate Concierge method with exclusive on-demand training, along with private coaching and direct text access to me as though you were a member of my actual concierge practice. So you get to feel what it's like to be a client in my own concierge practice. You'll learn exactly how to structure, price, and market your services while skillfully and compassionately honoring your own boundaries. Plus, you'll join a super intimate community of like-minded veterinarians who are transforming their practices right alongside you. Do you want to learn a little bit more about what concierge vet practice is and if it's a good match for your goals before you commit? If so, check out my free Concierge Vet Starter Kit. Both links are in the show notes for you. Welcome to VetMed's best kept secret, and I'm sharing it all with you. I can't wait to see you inside.
So, yeah, thank you for that beautiful lecture. A lot of people loved it. I got a lot of positive feedback. I had you close the conference with that lecture because I was like, oh, this is going to be a good one. And people really did love it. So you did a beautiful job. Thank you for that. How did conference go for you in general?
Good. It was nice. You come to the conference, you're like, oh no, here's a conference, and you're watching lectures, and you're running back and forth, and you're trying to do different things, and you're trying to figure out what lecture to go to. But then your brain kind of calms down because you have a lot of lectures talking about like mental health or how to be calm or what's a safe space. So like the energy of the conference kind of brings you into a calming experience. I was a little hyped up on Sunday because I had to talk, but I was, I just, everything was done. I'm just like, I'm just going to show up because I'm an earth person. I'll just show up. But it just was a different feel. And I watched the lectures, like I crammed the lectures in over the next couple weeks, and it's just a different feel of the conference. Like you want to make, I didn't want to miss anything. So I'm like, oh, these are so good. I want to just make sure I watch every lecture. I think everybody did a great job. And as a speaker, I'm trying to see like, what's their style? What are they doing? How are they lecturing? So I was impressed by some people, just how they did it, like check out their backgrounds or how do they talk. So I was kind of analyzing the speakers. All fun. And then, how you had the little breakout rooms. That was nice to get to see people. A lot of times on conference, you don't get to see people, you're just home. I thought that was fun. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, and then my talk, I knew was last. I didn't want to make it so scientific, packed with some knowledge to make it fun. So I took it, let's have fun with this, because I'm a fun person. And I like to just do odd things or, put little diagrams or little goofy things in the lecture to see who notices them. And but I had, it's hard to see. I had some typos. I'm like, oh no, there's another typo. So I corrected some of those. Oh God. And I do Canvas stuff. So I had a little house call vet that looked like you would, and I gave her a little purple bag.
So cute. Oh my God, that's adorable. I haven't yet had a chance. I'm still like kind of wrapping up like the logistics. Like even a month later, there's so many things to do. And I haven't had a chance yet to watch any of the lectures that I wasn't present for, but I will. And I'm so looking forward to it. And I think that's adorable that you put the little like blue thing in there for me. I know you mentioned that and I cannot wait to look at it. And yeah, I heard so many good things about this lecture and I just like literally cannot wait. And I'm sort of trying to like eke out details from you right now. I'm like, what did he say?
You have the notes. You can read the notes. I wrote notes.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah. Well, no, I want to watch it. I want to read the notes, but I also definitely want to watch it. I know this one's good. I know it's super good. Amazing. And yeah, I know it's such a different experience when you're the speaker. Your head is in a different place. You're prepping for essentially a performance. And yeah, I mean, it's very interesting hearing a lot of the testimonials come back from the conference of what people experienced. Because, as a speaker, you're performing and you're trying to make sure everyone has a good experience. And you don't get, you do and you don't quite get to have the full experience of receiving,
Yeah.
because you have to be on.
Yeah. Yeah, I said the one. But I was glad I was last. If he put me 9 in the morning, I'd have been still half asleep. I'm like, oh my God, I'm still half asleep. My eyes would have been like really tired. So that was better. Later in the day, I had more caffeine.
Same.
And these are very speakers. You had a lot of TCVM in there. You had a lot of, medical with the bladder and the emergency and house call vets. And so there's conventional and alternative medicine there. And then I like your conference because there's a lot of like mental health and emotional support. And just even talking about that because sometimes you don't really talk about that in vet medicine in a conference, or there's just a few lectures in the side, or it's not how you bring it like front and center.
Yeah, it's pretty front and center. And the first few times I did that, I was like, oh God, people are going to be like, oh, these soft skills, we want knowledge, we want. And I'm like, well, too bad you're getting an experience. You're going to have a whole experience. You're going to feel a certain way. You're going to be motivated to do things with your practice. It's not just information. But thank you for recognizing that. I work hard to have it be like a nurture, like literally, you don't just sit down and absorb information. You absorb information, yeah, but you're given the motivational experience to take action on it and therefore to transform your practice. So it's meant to be a process, essentially. And I love your contributions to it so much. So thank you. Thank you.
I like your books. I like the book. You mentioned the books to read, so I got some books to read.
Yeah, you're a big reader.
They're growing up like mushrooms around my house. I got to get more.
Love it. Love it. Oh my gosh. So kind of before we finish up our call, I wanted to ask you, you're a pretty experienced house call vet and you're quite an experienced veterinarian, particularly in holistic and integrative modalities. Do you have any wisdom that you'd like to share with someone who might either be starting a house call practice or maybe is looking to pivot as well, or maybe is in the early stages of their new house call practice? Any wisdom that you might have to share?
Just go for it. Sometimes we try to be perfectionists as vets, not make any mistakes, but you procrastinate. And then you get in this, my one friend said you have analysis paralysis where you just have to analyze it. And when in my practice, I took the class and I spent a couple years like learning the acupuncture points. I was so terrified I didn't know where they were. And I'm not going to know how to do them in the house call. And I'm going to look stupid. So I had cheat sheets. And I practiced at a shelter because I figured, how could I practice doing it? So I went to a shelter and practiced. And then the name, I had to think of the name forever. And I went through a couple of name changes. And, you look for the perfect name. It's, do you name your practice what it is, or do you name it what you want to name it? And then people figure out what it is. So I named it Harmony Rose Veterinary Integrative Services. And then the guy at the bank said, that's way too long for your checks. So then I changed it. And it's Harmony is for my husband's a musician. And then my Bernese Mountain Dogs are from Harmony Breeders. So that signifies dogs that I've had. And then Rose is my name. And then I said I want to project wellness. So Harmony Rose Animal Wellness. So that took a while to put in your head. But you don't even have to have the name. Just start under your name and just show up at people's house. One client said, I don't care if you have a logo. I don't care what your name is. I just want you to come here and treat my pet. And then, just start doing it. Do your homework. Go to Eve's website. Talk to other house call vets. Just get a bag. Just take a backpack. You don't need a fancy bag. And just take your acupuncture needle. And just, the first few clients, you're going to still figure things out. You're spending a lot of time there. You're probably not going to charge enough, but you just have to start doing it. That's what I was going to say. Just do it. Don't get paralysis. And then also give yourself some time, which I kind of keep myself way too busy. Give yourself some time, do your paperwork and to do your checkbooks and balance things. And also give yourself time to just think like, where am I? What am I doing in that? Like not urgent, but I kind of have to do this or think about this kind of thing, or give your brain some time off to think, where's my practice going? Because sometimes I was just like busy. And then how months later, you're like, wow, what happened? And I'm supposed to like work on a logo or do this or do that. And you just, I didn't spend time in like analyzing the practice, but you can go. And then I guess just don't be afraid to do it. I mean, if you really want to do it, when I was coming out of my divorce and trying to get back in practice, I was saying, okay, if I'm 80 years old, if I look back, what did I hope that I did in my life? And I didn't really know if I want to go back in veterinary medicine. I was, what else can I do? So I was like, well, if I'm 80 years old, I'd be upset I didn't try to get back in practice. So just try it. And then, do I really want to take this acupuncture class? And then sometimes you feel it in I think people, in your group and my group are intuitive, where we feel it. We're like, no, I think something's calling me to do this. Like, and even your concierge practice, I was like, no, because I know you've had the house call practice course. And I thought, well, I've done it. I don't know if I really need to do this. And then something just said, no, you need to, like the universe said, you need to take her concierge. The universe brought us together and like, you need to do it and don't worry about the money. You'll get the money. Just take the class. And if you don't do it, like I'd really like to take it now, which is I'm a little busy, but I think I'll be more ready in October or whenever it starts again. But the universe calls you over there. So if you feel like you have to do a house call practice, just do it. Like, don't analyze it. Just, get some advice, get a bag, maybe go to some clients that you trust or your family members or your friends do acupuncture on their dog and say, hey, pretend you're a client. I'm going to come to your house. And because I had to learn like how to be physical in someone's house. Like, where do I put my bag? Where do I take my shoes off? Do I spread on my stuff over their house? Do I put things over here? Do I ask them to go to the bathroom? Do I ask them for something to drink? It's just hard. Like, how do you come into their practice? Like, you greet them and then it's just fun. You just never expect what's going to happen. People offer me tea and they say, no, you can use my bathroom. And they're trying to pick up my, I keep put my needles and stuff in little baggies. I want to get stuff over people's house. They're like, oh no, I'll take your trash. Don't worry about it. I'll carry your bag out. So you just meet so many people that helped you along the way.
Yeah. Oh, that's such beautiful advice. There's so many gems in there. And I'm so glad that the universe brought us together too. Like, there are times where you just feel the pull. And I think you're right. Tend to be intuitive people, especially if we're in the holistic integrative modalities. Even if not, like, we're animal lovers. We're people who work in the subtle language of animal body language. And so sometimes it's a matter of just listening to your intuition and trusting it. And I love that timeline work that you did, that imagining yourself at the age of 80, what will you, at that point, looking back, like we go back and forth in time, what will I have wanted at this point? And, you'll look back at the return on investment, you'll be like, oh my God, investing in this program brought me this, and this financial freedom. And now I'm here 80 years old as a result of this. And so you sort of play with the future and you can play with the past as well. But I do that a lot when I'm making big decisions, like when I'm 80, 90, even in 10 years, 5 years, looking back at this time when I was the age that I am now, what will I wish I had done, or what will I be grateful that I did do? And what investments and in time, finances, just emotional energy. And that helps me make decisions as well. I was actually just on the phone with one of my best friends. She's probably listening to this right now, and she'll know who she is, trying to make big decisions about where to go with her veterinary career, feeling burnt out and feeling like maybe acupuncture is going to help set her free. And I'm encouraging her because to me, it was really life-changing. It's a whole new paradigm. It lets you get out of that sort of rigid thinking that sometimes can show up in the Western medicine world, not even the medicine itself, but the structures that surround Western medicine. It can become very rigid, and there's a sense of right and wrong, and it's not really tapping into the intuitive nature that most of us have, actually, available to us.
It's very, very angry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish in the past I had more fun, though. Look, if when I was younger, I'm like, I should have had more fun when I was younger. But yeah, it's neat to look back and look forward. I did advise some of my friends at the ski who I teach at, their daughter just graduated vet school, and she's out of practice, and she's been there for a year, and she's like left surgery, and then they don't know where she's going to go because she's feeling a little pulled to have a financial goal. And I said, tell her to just work 3 or 4 years, and tell her to stop and then just go get her own business, just be a surgeon. She doesn't have to get her own practice because she's stressed out of getting her own practice, and she doesn't need that. Tell her to call me when she wants to leave because she could just be a traveling surgeon. I mean, there's many things she could do. So she has to call me because she's not thinking out of that box. She's trapped in that new grad brain. I need to have a job. I need to have a practice. I need to work somewhere. And I said, you don't. You should just do whatever you want. Yeah.
Freaking brilliant. Yeah, that new grad brain. And I mean, it extends for many years for a lot of people that we're in a box that we realize you actually don't have to be in. And yet the illusion is that you cannot step off the matrix. You are in the matrix, and this is life. There's no other choice. I always talk about it as stepping off the matrix. That's like absolutely what people like you and I have done. Right. And I think anyone can do it as long as you recognize you're in the matrix to begin with. Right.
That's my favorite movie, The Matrix. And then I didn't understand it. Once he explained it to me, I'm like, I get it now. Yeah, that's a good analogy. Yeah, people are afraid to step out of the matrix and just step out and just do your own thing. And even like you said, too, you look back, even some of my mistakes, you think it's a mistake, but it kind of led you to where you are now. It's never a bad mistake. It just kind of made you who you were. And you have to go through those mistakes to know what you don't want or what you want.
So wise.
Yeah. And some people are they're afraid to step on the matrix. I see people and, they're working in a full-time job or part-time job and they're just afraid to step out. And I'm like, just step out, just try it. You can always go back. Like you step back, you're stuck out of the matrix forever. You can always go back to the matrix if you want.
The matrix is there waiting to suck you back in. Don't worry. You will always be able to get back into the matrix if that's what you want.
You feel comforted by it. You go back in.
Yeah. The matrix, it'll be there like a net waiting to catch you should you decide that you want back in. But anyway, Rosemarie, thank you so much. This has been such a delightful conversation, as always, with you. And I'm so excited for our upcoming collaborations. I'm so excited to watch your practice blossom into a full-on concierge practice and to work with you more intimately. And just thanks again for your contributions to the conference and to my life. You're a wonderful human.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to speaking next year and looking forward to attending your retreat, mastermind. And yeah, we're going to work together. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I put purple in my hair. I know if I put blue in my hair.
Please do. It's very interesting. A lot of specifically house call vets have started turning their hair blue and purple. And I'm like, let's just have all of us, like, just go in on it.
You should do it all for your conference next year. Well, I think you like to live out of the box, so you want to do things that are just different. And what can I do, to not be, because I follow the conventional route where you cut your hair and you had your hairstyle perfect. You had the makeup and the curled hair and you can only have so many earrings on each ear and you can only have so many rings. You can't paint your nails certain colors. And then it's like, I think I'm a product of the 70s. Just go back to my hippie roots.
Go back to your hippie roots, like screw blue and purple, like get the rainbow going. Like that's what I got. But it's like business in the front, party in the back. You have that same vibe. I know it. So like bring out the inner 70s flower child, or that's 60s, right?
Yeah. And I think that's what we do is we keep going. A lot of people are, are looking just to retire. How can I get out of here? I hate going to work. And people who do house calls or, integrative or holistic medicine. We don't want to stop. I think it just revives their career. I don't know if I would have survived this long.
Same.
I mean, if I would have survived, I probably would have been happy. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely right. Absolutely. So just in conclusion, do you have a favorite beverage while you're
yeah.
house calling at the cafe? What can I bring you for your order?
No, I love this question. I like cosmopolitans. Ooh, yeah, Cosmo. Yeah, Cosmo.
All right.
If you don't have a Cosmo, I'll take a glass of Cabernet.
All right. Have it one. We'll double fist it. One Cosmo, one Cabernet coming right up.
Yeah, I love that. I love the cosmopolitan glass. The glass is just awesome. Yeah.
That's the whole thing of it. Anyway, thank you so much, Dr. Rosemarie. I'm so grateful, and we'll talk soon.
Hey, we'll talk soon. Thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Look forward to working with you and seeing you in person.
Same.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the House Call Vet Cafe. If you enjoyed this episode, then hit the subscribe or follow button on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, YouTube, or wherever you listen to podcasts so you never have to miss an episode. This podcast is made specifically for you, so don't be shy if you'd like to reach out and let me know your thoughts on this episode. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook as The House Call Vet Academy, where I also share more valuable content. If you're interested in learning more about consulting for house call vets or the House Call Vet Academy online course and community, please click on the link in the show notes. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I can't wait for you to join us for our next episode of the House Call Vet Cafe.